do here. And I have our Fathom is on. Well, welcome everybody. My name is Robin Shatskin. Most of you know, some of you don't know. And this is Friends Becoming Neighbors. And I am so excited to raise a glass, not only for New Year's, but also for we have some new people who have joined us actually since the POA meeting. And it's very exciting because this is our second New Year's together. And my third POA, and I'm still not living there. So hopefully by next year's POA, I will be doing this meeting from Wilmington, from Leland. And we got the Harans coming in. So I'm so excited to share our pre-New Year's party with old friends. I can't believe we're old friends already. I think, Bob, you've been here since the very beginning. John, you've been with us since the very beginning. And certainly, you know, the Brackens have been here from day one, and it's very, very exciting. And hey, Patty, how are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Where's your lovely, handsome husband?
He's relaxing on the bed.
Okay. Way more information than I'm sure he wanted to share.
We're down in Wilmington.
Oh, how wonderful! Did you bring yourself a glass of wine? I know you like your wine.
You know why? I have tea.
Okay, well, we've got all kinds of things going on. Karen, where's your husband this evening?
Hey, Patty, I'm Ruth. I'm the one taking your pictures.
Ruth, I was gonna come knock on your door tomorrow.
Oh, well, feel free to do that.
I will.
Okay, sounds good.
I'll text you when we're over there.
Patty, you have any place where you can turn on a light, a little bit more light?
I don't know why it's so dark. You know, we're in the hotel, so I'm trying to figure out how to put more light here.
Oh, that's just move over, scooch over on the sofa. You're doing really better. Okay, there we are. We have everybody here. So we're gonna start all over again. I am so excited to see so many new faces. Okay, and Patty's back in the dark again. So many new faces. So just to basically talk about how we're going to do this is that we're going to go around my screen and we'll introduce ourselves. We have some new faces and want to hear about the updates from people. It's been very exciting. Over the last month, I have heard that there have been some graduates of our group who have moved in. Some are very, very close. We're going to hear about that. And then we're going to hear about everybody else's journey. So I am actually going to stop. We got Dolly's back. Dolly must be having some Leland. There she is. She's back. And Rosie, I don't see any camera on for you. Do you have a camera?
Rosie.
She's on mute. And this is my favorite, you know. My sign. So if you are on mute, you'll be good. So you know what? Let's start with Jen. So why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us about you and where you're coming from and how you got here.
Sure thing. My name is Jen Schoen, and my husband Trent and I are we own lot 30 in the Bluffs. So it's going to be 3810 Cherry Heron Court. So we are about to start building. We've got all the permits done. They're about to start clearing. So we're getting set.
Who is your builder?
We're building with Haygood, and we're doing the Harbortown 3.
Oh,
yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. And where are you coming from?
So we are actually coming from Charlotte, but we're in Leland now. So we actually sold our house in June and came ahead down here and decided where we wanted to live. So we're renting for the time being while the house gets built. So,
well, congratulations and welcome to our group. And we'll all be knocking on your door because, you know, we all helicopter in from time to time. You never know which one of us may show up.
Absolutely.
And at some point, as you get more and more involved, maybe you and Ruth will have a conversation since you're down there, because we started a group that takes photos for some of us who are not lucky enough to be there with you all the time. And as people are walking around and doing things, we share we share photographs with each other. So we're going to put you to work right away. It's all good.
Absolutely. Happy to do it.
Well, welcome. We look forward to seeing more of you. We've got, oh, Sandy's here. Okay. So the Olsons, introduce yourselves, please. Tell us where, we know where you're from and what your story is.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Paul. This is Lil.
Hello.
So yeah, currently, like we said, we're up in Conowingo, Maryland, which is North Cecil County. Cecil borders Delaware. So it's a good distance down there. Lily's sister lives down in Leland. She's in Compass Point, and that's pretty much our gravitation down there. We visited in 2019, had Thanksgiving dinner down there. We looked at Compass Point. And in fact, early this year in March, we took a lot of tours around Compass Point. They had us down there. They gave us the Holiday Inn discount rate, and we went through the whole deal with forget what they called it, but we went to different homes and had dinner and lunch and appetizers, cocktails. Really nice. They treated us very nice, but just didn't work for us. The home sites were very small, on on the order of a third of an acre and less. And we happened to have seen the advertising for the Bluffs and made an appointment there. And while we were still down there, and just loved what we saw. So we're committed for lot 415 on Flint Rock Road, and our plan is to start building sometime next year. We like Haygood Builders, and the Portsmouth is the one we're gravitating to there. So like that. I guess is that.
Awesome. So yes, you guys are actually right near the Shanahans, right? Because the Shanahans are what, 11 and 12 on. Where it was that whole stretch is starting to fill up with people, so you'll get to meet them all along the way. Welcome, Sandy, another alumni.
Hello.
Moved in. Hi, happy holidays. It's good to see you here. And hey, Una. So Rosie, welcome. Another new. Introduce yourself and tell us all about you. And
Well, my name's Rosie Barrett. I'm originally from Mississippi, but I've lived in Apex area, Raleigh-Durham area for probably 30 years. So I have a daughter that lives in Leland, and so that's kind of my pull to come down there because she's got all my little grandkids, and I have some other friends down there as well. And I just, took me a couple of years, just was thinking about what I was going to do when I do retire, because I don't really have any family here, but I do have a lot of good friends here in the Raleigh area. However, made the decision to, to come down to the coast. And so I, oh gosh, I don't know, probably close to a year, just looking around in different areas in Wilmington and Southport, just visiting all around. And then I got to the Bluffs and I was like, oh, wow, this is nice. So it just, I don't know. It just, when I drove in there, I thought this looks like a place for me. And I took more time, and I continued to look around, and then I visited a couple more times. And anyway, ended up finding a lot, and I should start building in a couple of weeks, I hope. Well, in January sometime.
And where is your lot?
My lot is 416 on Flint Rock.
She's our
right next to us.
She's our neighbor.
And then the Olsons are next to her.
So what's
crazy you guys are all filling in that whole
yeah.
We got to
So
meet.
I met Lillian on before I bought my lot, I got on the Bluffs Facebook page. And it was probably back during Creative Homes or whatever like that. And so I was like, oh, I need to talk to some people to find out what their experience is like building and do they like living there. So I kind of, stalked out a few people and I could tell by what their comments were that they either had a lot or were building. So I reached out to a few people, and then Lillian was one that kind of got back to me, and we were conversing back and forth for a long time. And then she said, oh yeah, you know, she and her husband had just bought this lot. And this was before I had bought mine. And then as it turns out, I buy a lot. I said, well, where's your lot? She's like, on Flint Rock. I said, oh, mine too. Where is it? And we right next door to each other. It's kind of
Karen, you guys are right across the street?
No, right next door.
Right
Oh,
next
right
door.
next door.
Yeah, we're at the end and then Rosie's next to us and the Olsons are next to them. Next to her, sorry.
Yes. That's
Wow.
right.
So, you know, and this is one of these wonderful things about this group. We've watched this happen. And Bob, you were here at the very beginning, and Sandy, when people were going, oh my God, you're going to be my next door neighbor. Right, Ruth? I mean,
Yep.
we've seen it happen.
Me
So
and
this is-
Nina.
it's, you know, it's very exciting.
It was a really good thing for you to start there, Robin. I think this is unique to any neighborhood I've seen.
Absolutely. Yes.
And, you know, and we're here, and I'm so excited to have, you know, Sandy and Ruth and Bob, obviously, but, you know, the Walters are, you know, they kind of, they've been, and then there's John and Una. You know, it's really interesting. I feel like we've spent so much time in and out, and we have all people transitioning back and forth. So it's very exciting to see everybody. Kim, how about, why don't you guys introduce yourselves and tell us, give us your story.
Sure. I can relate to Paul's story a little bit, but I'm Kim Hurt. This is my husband, Jeff.
Hello.
Hi, Jeff.
And we currently live in Mountaintop, Pennsylvania. So yes, we do live on a mountain. We're near Stroudsburg, Poconos, 2 hours from Philly, 2 hours from New York City. You're probably more familiar with, if I tell you Scranton, because you probably saw The Office at least once, right? Anyway, so that's where we currently live. Been here 33 years.
Wow.
And people always say to me, well, what was your interest in Wilmington? Well, years ago, my husband is a retired nuclear engineer. So many years ago, he was almost going to take a job down in Brunswick, and we had toured the area a little bit. And then he had some meetings down there. I would go with him once in a while, and I just fell in love with Cape Fear. That's when I first met Brad Pitt before I knew who Brad Pitt was. He had just finished the vampire movie. And I remember we're at a restaurant and Brad Pitt came in and all the waitresses, like, we lost our servers. I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, Brad Pitt is here. Now we're in our 30s and I'm going, we must be old because I have no idea who Brad Pitt is. And they even had to change the air conditioning because he came in like half shirtless. And anyways, I'm gonna find out who Brad Pitt is. But that was my first introduction to Brad Pitt when I didn't know who he was. So since then, a friend of mine was in a gated community in Delaware, and I just loved the concept of gated community. So Paul, kind of like you, I started following Compass Point when they were brand new. I mean, it had to be like 15 years ago. I'm assuming that's when they started. And they would call me every year and say, well, when are you going to come down? And I said, listen, I'm not even close to retirement, so I'm just following you. I followed them all the way up. I mean, I knew the people in those videos because that was like my enjoyment. I would watch those videos and I thought, I want to meet those people. I don't know if they're real or not, you know, but they would talk about why they live there in Compass Point, blah, blah, blah. So last year we went to Asheville. We're big hikers. We're big outdoors type people. We're big, we run half marathons. Our daughter's a big athlete. She runs marathons and Ironman and you name it. So we may all be in the Ironman in Wilmington coming up. So guys, I'll let you know if that happens. But so we went to Asheville, we went hiking. And I said to him, you know, like, why we're out this way, how about we travel down to Wilmington? Because I have to check out this Compass Point thing. I got to see if I really want to be in a gated community. I really want to be whatever. So we came down to the area. It would be in 2021. And so we went and visited Compass Point, and like what you said, Paul, you know, those small lots, the only lots they had available at the time were along the highway. You couldn't see the highway. So here's my husband and I, because we live up in the country, a little more, you know, we're suburban mountaintop, still a lot of bears, deer, there's not a lot. And we would stand in different lots and go, nope, I heard that truck. nope, no, that's not, no. If we're gonna spend the next 20, 30 years, whatever God gives us, we can't be hearing trucks. So then we went into one of the model homes, said, nope, can still hear a truck. So the lady, because she knew we weren't gonna buy, which I told her we're just exploring. She gave all the passwords for all of the homes, the model homes. We must have went through every single one of them like 10 times, to the point that people in their carts would come by and go, do you guys live here? We're like, no, we're just exploring. We're taking notes, see what we like, what we don't like, because the whole concept of everything on one floor with a room is new for us. So we're just taking notes. So then we went back and he goes, yeah, that's not for us. Okay. So then he goes, but there's got to be other gated communities in the area. And I'm thinking, oh, I think he's buying into my idea, because I never really talked a lot about it. He just knew I was following Compass Point for like 15 years. So then we went to the Bluffs, and that was a game changer. I mean, beautiful, the wooded area, because we live in a wooded area. The river right there. And our guy was a smart salesman, which I'm sure they all are. He said, you know, Jeff, all you have to do is put a deposit down on this lot that I can't show you because we can't really get there. No road to it yet. But you can always take the deposit off. So I'm just holding my breath because I can't say much, you know. So he goes, oh, but that's a no-brainer. I'll put a deposit down. Well, I'm jumping up and down because I'm so excited. I'm like, now I'm going to be watching all the videos of the Bluffs, and hopefully those people I meet are real people. And so that was a year ago, August. And then, so we'll be at lot 444, which is one of the newer ones on River Parkway, 3819. I think Kent Homes, which we're building with Kent Homes, they are building another model home, one house down from us. So there's our lot. So our lot is, when you take a right, we're like, we'll be the second, I think the second house on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second house on the right. Backyard is a lot of wetlands.
Yeah, so we have some wetlands back there, but he's walked through it all. I mean, we had boots on a lot. We were there in October. So we walked the whole wetlands, walked through just to kind of check it all out. And we met with the man who's in charge of creating all of the water where it goes. What's that called?
I just asked him a lot of the details about the water management throughout the development, because about a third of our lot is in what they call wetlands, but it's really just a drainage area that drains that area. But there's really no standing water or anything else.
Was that Gary? Did you meet with Gary?
Yeah, it was Gary. It was Gary that mentioned it. Yeah,
aren't you proud of me, Bob? I figured that one out, huh?
Yeah, excellent. How'd it go?
There you go.
And it was so good because Gary goes, oh, you're an engineer? Awesome. So he went from the engineer perspective and explained. I mean, he could use words that I was like, I think I know those words. But he was taking him the whole trail and how he did whatever. And then, of course, Jeff has to go down and go follow all that pathway to see where the water goes, how it goes, and gave us some suggestions about that. So, anyway, so that's how we got in. And then when we were there, so what I did like was that we're not big golfers in terms of being on in a property that has golfing, but we are I grew up in Rhode Island, so I grew up on the ocean, and I haven't had the ocean, so I have to go every summer somewhere where there's an ocean. So when they told us about the beach house that the HOA has, we're like, oh, okay, I think I'm kind of sold. So we went down to the beach house and we met. I don't know if you guys know, they haven't moved in yet, but they're close. They're in the yellow house on Fallen Pear Road. It's a big house right in the corner. It's right near the current, Kent House had a Grace Bay on Fallen Pear Road that they sold it to somebody. But anyway, so the Mains, M-A-N-N, Donna and Chuck.
Donna Mann.
Yeah. So they had at the beach house when we were there. So I got her number. So I felt like I didn't know about all this other stuff because we weren't official yet. And I felt like I had like a detective because I say, what's happening now? So she would send me pictures. Kim, they're putting in sewers now. that here, I think they're putting a road in. Oh, I think they're doing this. So that was like pretty cool. We could see all of that. And then I met Terry and Mike. I don't know if I know their last name. They live in the cul-de-sac that's behind the Man's.
Are you going to meet tons of people? But and you're very lucky because Kim meets Sandy Nutt. Sandy, wave your hand. Sandy is an expert on the most amazing secret beaches and amazing different things. So when you're ready, I mean, she's been telling me stories for like the last 6 months and the drool. I'm trying so hard because there are all these really great beach places. So, you know, so now you have Sandy here. So write her name down when you're ready for really cool places to go on beaches. There's some really wonderful stories and things like that as well.
Yeah.
Good, that
So-
sounds good. So we're hoping to start moving down like the other girl, I think by like Rosie or someone who we talked to said that they're renting. So we'll be looking at talking to people about renting a home, selling our house around June, which is always a good time to sell. I can relate with what you were saying, what Paul's wife was saying about, you know, we have 33 years of house stuff. They know what's in the attic or the basement. You know, our children have moved out, but there's still lots of stuff. I told my husband, since he retired, I said, you go clean the house out. I haven't seen it in 20 years. Don't show it to me. Like, don't even get me thinking about it. Just get rid of it. You know?
I think we all, Michael spent Christmas weekend painting rooms. You know, it's all, but, and I didn't want to say good, welcome Southworth. I'm so glad that you're here. So, you know, I didn't want to not see that you're there. You're almost going to hear about your story in a second. I just want to make sure that we get everybody new. John, yeah, John, I know John's resting. Patty, how close are you guys to moving in?
We asked Ted today when we spoke with him, we're going back tomorrow. He said the end of January.
Okay.
We'll see. We will see.
Very, very cool. Dolly,
The
I
good
know you
news
don't
is
have
there's trucks at both the Horan's house and the Southworst today.
Wow.
Nadine, is it your house? No, let me think. Where's your house, Nadine? She didn't hear me.
It's all the way in the back on Fallen Pear. It's the green and white house.
No, somebody that was on before, but I think they left. They're across from the clubhouse. They were really working on that house today.
Is that Nina's house? Is that Nina's house?
No, not Nina's. She was on before, but she's not on right now.
Oh, okay.
She was at the party on that Friday at my house. Anyway, they were doing a lot of work on her house today, but the Southworst and the Horan's, they're definitely at your houses today. So that's good news.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I was trying to go in, but you know, I try not to go in when there's people there. You know?
People there.
Yes, Sandy's a really great. She's a stealthy spy. All my original pictures all have her dog in them. So
it's because I'm walking my dog all the time.
It's all good. It's all good. So Dolly, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and your journey and what's going on with your house?
Hey, this is Dolly Foster. My husband Bob is in the other room watching the Browns on TV. So I'll do the introductions. We're from Severna Park, Maryland, which is near Annapolis. So hi to all the Marylanders out there. My kids used to go to camp up at Conowingo. So I'm familiar with that area. Anyway, we have lot number 258 on Fallen Pear. We just bought it in the fall, and we're hoping to start building this year. Our next thing is to go to Wilmington at the end of February, and talk to some builders and hopefully make a decision about who to go with. So I'm like super interested in information about anybody's experiences with different builders. We're kind of leaning towards Kent and Bill Clark right now because we like their house plans. But if anybody else has different experiences, we would be interested to hear about them.
So you know what, Dolly, why don't you, if you want to put it in the chat, put your contact information, or anybody that, that wants to put their contact information there, or just if you want to, you can find each other on the Team Reach, because I'm sure everybody here is happy to share information one way or the other. Alice, when do you, why don't you introduce yourself to everybody, and do you have a start date yet?
Well, they've cleared our lot.
That's what I was talking about, Alice. They were really at your house today.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Great.
you know what? I
Lots of
was
trucks.
wondering about that.
Lots of trucks. Lots.
I don't have any new pictures.
Okay,
They're not
well.
sending them to me. So, yeah, I'm not quite sure. I know they were clearing it. And I
There's
think
so many trucks, they were all on the road today. There's like 6 trucks. You could hardly even get in the street. So that's
Okay.
good. That's good for you.
yeah, so I'm sure they're probably pouring the concrete, the foundation there.
Yeah.
So we're looking at September. That's the date that they gave us. So I think we'll be down there in March. So that's what's going on. We went with Kent. So we're building a Jonesport there.
Very cool.
Frozen.
Very cool. So Randy and Nadine, I think you're next in line, I think, unless the Southworths and the Harans beat you there. I don't know. This is going to be interesting. The race.
Well, I have to tell you, right now it looks like the races and ourselves may be having our houses moved together.
Ooh.
I mean,
So I believe right now our date is the 25th.
that's
And I think
ours.
the plan is to load our house up and then go to the races, pick them up, and then drop both of us off at the Bluffs. So I think they're gonna be in there before us. By hours.
We never know. So we were so lucky to see Randy and Nadine's house, like it was this close. It was very cool. We walked in, they were like putting the floor down and all
I know,
of us
those
going,
poor guys,
oh,
we had a
wow.
parade of like 20 people come through while they were doing the flooring.
But they didn't miss a beat. They were really wonderful. Did they manage to, they poured the cement in the back yet?
Oh yeah, the driveway's poured, they got the patio in the back straightened out, we moved it in basically 2 feet closer to the house.
Oh, awesome.
So we have room for a fence back there. Yeah, January is gonna be insane because we're getting ready to really move out of here, but they gave us a closing date of January 25th. But we have to be there a week before and we're building with Haygood Homes. Haygood has what they call an orientation, which is basically showing us how the house works. And we create a punch list of all the things that are either wrong or missing or whatever. And then closing is scheduled for 1 week later than that. So we'll be down there 3 times in January, first on the 17th for our walkthrough on the 18th, and then once again a week later for our closing, and then the week after that we'll be moving down with our belongings.
So lots of driving back and forth.
Yeah.
Well, luckily you're not as far away as John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only 6 hours.
Yeah, it's 6 hours. But
Oh, piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
our
So,
second trip down, we're hoping to we get to do that in 2 vehicles, and we'll leave one in our new garage. That's why closing has to happen on time. We've been in our current home in Southern Maryland for 24 years, and sold it to the first people who looked at it after a lot of stress and worry, but then went on the market, and first people saw it, they put a full price offer in, sold, let us rent back for 3 months. So we're kind of cutting it pretty close, but we have rent back rights until February 1st. We'll be able to appear on the 31st.
Hey, listen, we're all hoping to have something like that. So
I know,
it's all good.
But it all works.
Hey, Robin,
Hey, yeah.
as as people have been in their houses for a long time and they contemplate what to pack up and move, I'd like to make a pitch for 2 neighborhood projects. One, there's a community garden. So if you have some garden tools that you say I'm never going to use again, there'll be a common shack in the garden, I think, that could use your tools. And another one we'll have what's called Helping Hands, etc., that we plan to have a separate tool location for people that say, I'm not going to use tools, but then all of a sudden decide they need one. There'll be a community set of tools, from everything from hand tools to things like chainsaws and all that might be needed after a hurricane and that.
Which is amazing. Does somebody have something running in the background that's on? Okay, because I was hearing some feedback, but yeah, Bob, thank you for that. Yeah, and anybody that's interested in the community garden and hearing about it, we have a meeting on, is it the 3rd? I think the 5th. I'm not sure, but you can look for it. But we put it, I believe we put it in the on the calendar. It's the community garden meeting is at 7 o'clock on January 3rd on Zoom. So you know, we're going to put it back out there. You'll find it in the Bluffs calendar on the bulletin board, and I believe on Team Reach. So let's just go fully around to everybody else. John and Una.
Am I off mute?
Yeah.
Robin, I just want to say that driving to New York is faster than flying.
Oh, geez.
Especially after the last trip. Yes, they actually beat us home from Raleigh.
Oh, gosh.
They beat us home. That was quite an interesting.
In the rain.
In the rain.
In the rain.
All I know is that I get a text from Una. We made it home in record time. I'm still sitting in the airport in that pouring rain after the POA meeting. And of course, Michael said, and Michael, what did you say to me?
Where is it?
What?
See, I told you it was faster. We could have driven and we could have been home already.
For Robin, for the right price, I would have thrown you in the back seat.
Hey, listen, that's what I said. I actually said the next time I'm going home, I'm gonna hitch a ride in the back with you, because you know,
Una, on a long drive, she's a bad passenger. Don't do that.
Hey, it's
Don't
okay.
do that.
I'll put the tunes on. I put on my Studio 54, and there we go. There we go. Yeah. And as John always says, if I drive, we get there faster.
Right.
Yeah, you powered through. I mean, I was really impressed that you did the first 6 hours, and boy, you were on it. It's 7 hours. Okay, see? Yeah,
well, John was tired from all the partying that weekend.
Yeah,
hey, listen, that's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Robin, did you mention to the newbies about all that events that we had?
Yeah, well, we're going to talk about that in a minute. I just want to make sure everybody gets a chance to introduce themselves. Why don't you just give them a real quickie where you are, where you're going, where you're from.
You want us to keep going?
Yeah, please.
Oh, so I have to be quiet because I have the children upstairs, but the master plan is to get down there for June, 100%. So we're working towards that. I've been spending a lot of time in the attic, going through a lot of stuff, and I don't know who mentioned it. If I haven't seen it in 20 years, don't show it to me. Good thing to do.
Well, Robin, she's actually been in this house 50 years.
Yeah, this is my childhood home.
Yeah.
Wow.
She never unpacked.
I didn't have to. John just moved his stuff in.
I think we're going to be here, what, 32?
30.
So we will be in this house in February. It'll be 33 years.
Wow.
So
it was my childhood home as well. Anybody buy that? No, I didn't.
Nice try, Robin.
It's been kind of interesting. It's been kind of interesting. So yeah, we just over the weekend, my husband Michael, who's introduced himself, painted over my daughter's height chart. We needed to paint the room. So, you know, when they're little and they do that. So my
Yeah.
daughter said to me, "What, Mom, why don't you just cut it and take it with you?" And I'm like, okay.
And put it in her room, right?
And put it in her, and it's her room. Yes, the guest room is her room.
Her room.
So, you know, but it's very exciting. So, John and Una, their house is already built. Just tell everybody where your beautiful house
Yeah,
is.
so we're on Bay Colony, I guess the lower part of Bay Colony, or close halfway from Paul Fallen Pear to where Robin's house is. What's
And
funny
Sandy's
is
is in the middle.
yes, we're somewhat neighbors with Sandy and also the Crawfords. And what's funny is at the POA meeting, someone mentioned that they thought our house was abandoned because they never see anybody there. So it's actually been kind of done since last October. So it's over a year, but we just go there once in a while. But yeah,
You've been going a lot. You've been there more
Yeah.
often. I've seen your, you know, every once in a while we're like, we'll see a car. There's a car. Are they
Right.
here? Or is just the car here?
Right.
So for those of you who are going to be driving the neighborhood, John has you'll see the house. It has the attached gazebo to the front porch.
Right.
So if you've driven, everyone's going to go, "Oh yes, we know exactly where they
Right.
are," because everyone has seen that. That was my marker that I was actually going in the correct direction.
right.
Yeah, for those who don't know me all that well yet, and why Una does not want me driving is that I have what percent of a sense of direction do I have, Michael?
Oh, your sense of direction? If there's a 50-50 chance of going left or right, it's 100% that you'll take the wrong 50.
I'm originally a New York City girl. Everything's numbered, and it's avenues. If you could count, you got there pretty safely. So now this is all about one very big adventure. So Ruth, why don't you introduce yourself and tell everybody where you are and what your special jobs are here?
I'm Ruth Bracken, and my husband Dave and I, we live on lot 201 on Fallen Pear, and been here just a little bit over a year, and have made some very special friends, to include Miss Sandy, and she and I have become stained glass buddies, and so that's our project she's been teaching me. And so that's just one of the special things about being in the Bluffs, is that people come with so many different skills and backgrounds and everything else, and it's fascinating to be able to share some of those experiences with other people.
Awesome. We're so glad that you're here tonight. And we're just going to segue into Sandy, and then Karen. You're back there. So Sandy's one of our originals. She's been here since the very beginning as well.
Oh, hi, I'm Sandy.
That's you. Okay.
I've been here since February, and I love it. All of us have had some issues with our houses and everything, but you just kind of have to put those things aside and remember what a wonderful community we all have, and what nice neighbors we have, and all the fun things there are, we've found to do, the pickleball group. And I'm trying to get Ruth to play pickleball. I play in the easy pickleball group because I'm not good enough for the good players. So there's another pickleball group. So like Bob Conger is in the good pickleball group, but they really wouldn't want to play with me. And there's another girl that started an aerobic class, and she's doing that Mondays and Fridays. So that's been kind of fun. And we just meet at the clubhouse, and there's so many groups. There's so many things to get involved with. There's just never, you can stay so busy, but sometimes you're like, okay, I just can't do anything today. So it's been fun. Yeah.
Which is awesome. So Karen, why don't you introduce you? And I know Keith is around somewhere.
Good evening. My name is Karen Jennings, and my husband Keith and I will be on Flint Rock on lot 417. We're building with Ted, And the framing is up, the roof is on, the electrical and the plumbing is going in now. And we've got a meeting the third weekend of January. It's the pre-drywall inspection. So it's moving along very nicely, and we're happy with it so far. And so we had a good trip down there in December for the POA meeting, and got to see many of you. And we look forward to moving there sometime early next June.
Very good. Yeah, June's going to be a busy month too. And I saved the best for last. Bob, why don't you introduce you? Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're looking around.
You're on mute, Bob.
Bob. Go on mute.
Everybody wave.
Wave, Bob. Poor Bob's on mute. There he goes.
I saw that a while ago, but I couldn't find the mute button. All right, so I'm Bob Conger. I've been here 3.5 years now, and the time's going by real quick. We moved in the week they shut everything down for COVID. Lot of change in the neighborhood. It's neat to have so many great people move in, and a lot of good stuff is coming too. The new clubhouse, a bunch of other stuff. I hope everybody's on the portal and on Team Reach so that you get all the news, and the various Facebook pages. And if you're interested in any of the major projects in the portal, there's a section of projects and news in that Robin and Rob Stevens are leading now. So you can see what those major projects consist of: the clubhouse, the marina, the boat launch, new roads, etc.
Now, and again, it's been really such a wonderful, exciting experience. And Bob has been so wonderful coming in from the very beginning. Many of us were, the old timers. I was speaking with Mary Fisher the other night, another one who was one of our originals. And she's like, I don't know. She says, I feel like I don't belong to the group anymore. I've been living there for so long. And, and everybody seems to be watching the videos. It's really interesting for the people who've been coming on since we started in May of 22.
No, I think it's 21.
21. May of 21.
21.
And so I have everything everything was recorded, and it's so interesting to see where we've come. And Bob, you and Sandy and everybody, you've seen how far we've come. So what I want to say to some of the new people, number one, welcome to this group. And we have a tremendous wealth of information that everybody is really open to giving information. And so if you're, some of you mentioned talking about builders and different types of things. If you were looking for specific information and you would like a contact, there's always going to be somebody in this group that can help you. But as Bob was mentioning, please make sure, is there anybody here who was not yet on the owner's portal? That doesn't have information in the owner's portal? Okay.
I don't yet, but because my lot and my construction loan are gonna all be done at the same time, so I haven't gotten into the portal yet, I guess, what you're talking about.
So are you an owner? Have you purchased your property?
Well, I've put a deposit on it, but they're just doing all my construction loan and my lot, all that.
Okay. So for now, just keep in touch with us, as you have been through the Team Reach. Is everybody here? I think everybody here is already on Team Reach.
Yeah.
Okay. So you got the information about this group, but if you also go into the owner's portal, all of the numbers for the Team Reach groups are there as well. So you don't have to be living in the Bluffs necessarily to be a part of it. The community garden that Bob was just talking about, we have that meeting again on the 3rd of January. You don't have to be living in the Bluffs right now to be a part of helping the plan. There's also a dog park that's in the works, and we've been working on putting that together. and there's a kayak club and the pickleball, and it's interesting. I've been speaking with Henry, who's been doing lessons at the Bluffs, and I'm working on some really cool pickleball vacations and pickleball things going on. So if you're pickleball, that's going to be kind of exciting as well. I'm trying to think what else. The clubhouse we're talking probably end of next year, I think.
Yeah. End of next year, and there'll be input for the fitness center equipment, which Keith is working on. That'll be kicking off sometime in the first quarter of next year. There's a lot of stuff going on, and also one good thing in the portal is the community directory, I think is what it's called. It's called the Bluffs directory. So you can type in anyone's first name, last name, get their phone number, etc., if they've decided to share it. So that's a good way to connect with people if you don't know anything more than a first name or something like that.
And if you have any questions, you guys, I mean, I'm pretty transparent. You guys all know how to find me. I'm always happy. And if I don't have the answer, we have another puppy in the house.
Oh, this is Winchester.
Hi, Winchester.
He's just waking up.
That is our dog's name as well. Winchester. We call him.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good name. We're well protected.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. So yeah, so you guys, might have some interest in working with the committee eventually that's going to be working on the dog park, because we're going to have a beautiful dog park right next to the community garden. So it's a good thing if you have the dog park and you want to work in the community garden. And the community garden, just so that you know, is not just going to be planting, because as Michael will tell you, you do not want me anywhere near anything that grows except for children and dogs. But one of the things that we're working on is actually making it an event space as well. So there's going to be other activities and other things going on there that might interest you. So, and if you have any talent, any knowledge about making things grow, or some input into possibly being interested in having a raised bed, come to the meeting. There's no obligation. Everybody's really open. And you know what, actually, Sandy, why don't you tell everybody about the new artisan collective that was started up, for those that may have walked through the weekend of the POA?
Well, it's a group that just started. Suzanne Hart, she does pottery, and there's another girl and I that do stained glass, and there's quilters, fabric artists, all various arts. There's a guy that does wood turning. So we had our first art walk this right before the holidays, and not everybody that could participate because they didn't have enough stuff made and stuff. So there's about 7 or 8 of us. And so we had signs in front, and everybody in the neighborhood just came and looked at, all the stuff, came to your house, or I had mine on my driveway, and it was a beautiful day. We really lucked out. And it was just really fun. I mean, it was just like you saw your neighbors, and everybody just really enjoyed. Everybody was coming in golf carts and everything. So we're going to try to start having like an art fair twice a year. So our next meeting is in January. So we'll go from there. But it was fun.
No, it was beautiful. The stuff was beautiful. There's a knit and crochet group. So there's all kinds of, and there's going to be a new group. I think John Warner's group was approved. Do we have a number on that yet, Bob?
Let's see.
The Be Entertained is the Team Reach one, BENTERAIND. And then there's another one if you want to be on the coordinating committee, but Sandy's on the coordinating committee. Or is that just the Travel Adventures group, Sandy?
No, I'm not on that committee. I'm on the travel committee.
Travel Adventure one,
on
which also
do you
is
have
a great
number?
group.
Bob, do you have the number for that one yet?
There's no number. It's
Oh, there's no
B
number yet? He hasn't
Entertainment.
gotten the number yet? Okay.
Well, it is. It's Be Entertained is the code.
Oh,
The code is just long, Be Entertained.
gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll be hearing about all of that.
There'll
So
be announcements on that coming out soon.
awesome.
The very first thing they're doing is the New
Polar
Year's
plunge.
Day plunge into the pool.
The polar
Yeah.
bear plunge into the pool.
And I'm gonna go watch.
I want to know who's taking video. I want to know who's taking video of that.
I will take pictures.
Okay, definitely take pictures of that. Definitely take pictures of that. So Michael, I'm going to save the best for last. Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us about you?
Is there anything left to say, Robin, after? Okay. So, Robin and I broadcast from two different studios. She's in Studio 1A and I'm in 2B. Because in Studio 1A, she's got her lighting, she's got her camera, she's got her whole setup. And if I try to glom in, it's not going to be a pretty picture. So I have my own little setup upstairs. But anyway, so Robin and I we're at lot 249. We're at the end of Bay Colony. If you take Bay Colony all the way around, we're at the very, very end, and we're building with AR Homes. We're probably a little past halfway now with our build. I think they just finished in December doing all the basic utilities, the electrical, the plumbing, the HVAC, and I guess they also did the gas after we left. And it's supposed to be going through inspections now. And then sometime in January, they'll start with the insulation and the drywall. So Karen, I think we're on your schedule. You mentioned before that you're going to be going down there maybe in January, like the third week. And we think we're targeting Robin to head back down there around that time as well to do her walkthrough or the pre drywall walkthrough or the drywall walkthrough. Something is going to bring Robin down there probably at the end of January. And so as you look at Robin's picture with the stone archway, that's the view from our front door looking out, right? That we have, our house is very distinctive. We have this archway in the front. And so that's Robin loves having her background be some of our property pictures.
And that's courtesy of Una Walter. I give her
Thanks,
credit
Una.
all the time. She's on that committee too.
So just, as I listen to everybody talking about how they found the bluffs and all the things that they're doing, Robin and I were living the same thing. We've been in our house 33 years. We've gotten rid of a bunch of stuff. We're still getting rid of stuff. The attic is mostly empty, but that's because we brought everything down and all the stuff from the attic is occupying other rooms. So it's slowly migrating out of the house, and we're moving things around to do painting. So we're doing the same thing that you guys are doing. We're just all on a little bit different schedule. And Bob, I heard your mention about like a tool group or tool shed. And I think I'm definitely going to have some donations because I don't need 3 hammers and 4 pairs of pliers. So I probably will have some donations. Robin is on my case about my rusty saws. I have some hand saws and she thinks because there's a little rust on them that they're no good. So they're probably going to find a home in Bob's tool shed or wherever.
Yeah, Brian has also said, no worries, I'll give him a home in my, because he needs more saws, Sandy.
Yeah.
Brian needs more saws.
Yeah. Brian was stepping up.
So no, and we joke about all this stuff, but it's not easy. It's definitely not easy. Things that we thought we would take, we're not taking. Things I didn't think we were going to take, we are. Yeah. So I'm sure everybody has either been through it, going through it. So my question to those of you who have moved into Bob and Sandy and, is there anything that you didn't take, that you didn't move into your house that you said, wow, I shouldn't have taken that. I should have taken that. Or I miss that. Anything that, Ruth, anything that you didn't take that you're like,
I was happy to get rid of the stuff.
Yeah.
If I knew.
We did that too. There's a lot to say for starting a new chapter with new furniture and that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was happy to get rid of a lot of my stuff so I could buy, so I could shop.
I mean, you have to trade the cost of,
Hey,
there's some things you can sell, even if you can't sell it for a lot. You have to, it's a combination of what the item's worth, even if it's discounted, plus what it would cost you to move. And in a lot of cases, for us, it just didn't make sense to even move things because the new buyers wanted some things that we didn't want to move. It's like, yeah.
I get a report every day. What's Nadine selling today?
Because Nadine, you're probably like me, but I really utilize Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, me too. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, the price was always right. And there's times where I wasn't even home, and I would leave it on the front porch, and they'd say, "We're here," and I said, "Just leave the money under the mat."
Right.
They did.
Yeah. We have sold a lot on market for sure.
Yeah, a lot of marketplace, a lot on Facebook, not on Facebook, but eBay as well.
eBay,
Which is
yeah.
surprising, but not furniture so much as
Yeah,
other
we
stuff. A lot of electronic stuff on eBay.
Yeah, well, and it's very interesting. So at this point, I'm going to open up the floor to anybody that may have a question or some information that they need, something that they want to share.
I will say that if you bring things and you end up not using them, there's some really nice consignment places around that will take your items. And so that's a good option. If you're on the fence about something and you bring it and find you don't need it, then there are several nice. And there's a particular one in Wilmington that's a little more upscale furniture and whatnot. So it's, some good options there.
You know, maybe we should make a list, just because so many of us are all going to be doing the same thing. That this way, before we move, we can contact some of these places and say, listen, you know, we're thinking about bringing this. Do you have any interest? Because certainly here on Long Island, there is a migration, and if it's dark, it's done, and if it's not mid-century modern, don't bother telling us about it. That's basically what we're hearing from all these different places.
On Long Island, there's what I would call a glut of things that people are trying to sell or get rid of. I don't know if John and Una of you are seeing that, but there are times when I'm listing things and they've just been listed forever and ever, and I discounted it and they're still not interested. And today we actually gave away, and it wasn't in great shape, but we gave away a bookcase that was 6 feet tall, 3 feet wide. It was in like moderate shape. Couldn't find one single buyer. I've got a day bed, a beautiful day bed my daughter used to use. It's in great condition. I'm not asking that much for it. Not one single inquiry. And so when you go on to some of these sites, and there's a lot of these Facebook sites on Facebook Marketplace and associated groups, what you find out is that everybody is selling bookcases. Everybody is selling beds and sofas. And so it's really a buyer's market here on Long Island for all this stuff. And I've gotten rid of a lot. I have sold a lot, but we're at a point now where the low-hanging fruit is gone, and it's really hard to sell some of the things that we have left that we don't want.
Yeah, that's when you go to Free Cycle.
We're down to the last,
And that's what we're doing now. We've gotten rid of a few things. It had a very large picture that had to disassemble. I took the art itself and rolled it up, store that, and I don't know if we're going to do that yet, but the frame had to get rid of, and I had a, was it 78 by 55 inch piece of plexiglass.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Exactly. It's like, what do you do with
What do you do with that? For me to even take it and dispose of it, I would have to cut it up, break it, whatever, and probably pay a weight for, tippage fees. Like, no, I'll put it on Free Cycle.
Yeah.
And within 5 hours, I had a list of people who wanted it.
Yeah.
Puzzle makers.
The guy came and picked it up. He's, restoring for somebody. He was going to make a tabletop out of part of it. His plans for it. I said,
So Alice, are you seeing, is there a lot of movement up by you? Is I guess where the population density isn't so intense.
Oh, Colorado Springs. I mean, it's all military. So you got people coming and going all the time. Yeah, there's a a lot of movement. We're gonna get rid of most of our stuff because John and I have been married, 7 years? So we kind of condensed everything and haven't bought anything new together. So we're hoping to just go shopping once we get there and try to figure it out.
That's a fun part of the new chapter.
Yeah.
Starting out with a new home with all sorts of clean, empty rooms, and they don't have to be filled right away.
No. And I'm a minimalist, so I'll just do some pieces that we basically need and then go from there. So.
That's smart.
Yeah, we have friends who did an estate sale and were able to get rid of most of their stuff through an estate sale.
Yeah, a lot of the estate sales here, there's a new site, relatively new, called Auction Ninja. So during COVID, all of the people on Long Island who were doing all these home sales and they would come in, they took everything online. So now they come, they take pictures of all of your stuff and then they put it up on the internet so that you can sell it from all over the place. And, we go and we see, sofas for $1, so it's very interesting. I mean, Jeff and Shelby, have you guys, because I know you've been kind of waiting to leave. I know your kids are probably, here's your hat, what's your hurry?
First of all, I have no idea why our oldest daughter's name is on the screen.
I was gonna say, I know she's not Shelby, but
No.
I figured, what the heck, she must have been using your Zoom account.
I have no idea.
Well, aren't you still away?
Yeah, we're in the Berkshires. Actually,
Is that
yes.
her computer you're using?
No, it's my iPad. I have no idea.
There'll be a good story behind that.
I have no idea. But yeah, so we've been packed up, ready to move since 2022. Our whole house was packed. Our house was sold. We were moving into a rental property, and then the sale fell through. And we ended up with everything boxed up, and we've been living out of boxes ever since.
Been there, done that.
Yeah. And Patty, you
It's
guys,
depressing.
yeah, Patty, how long have you guys been living in your apartment?
2.5 years we've been there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we sold and moved in. So my daughter lives on Long Island on the North Shore, on the other side from you, and we gave her a lot of the furniture. So I was lucky not to have to. I think we put a few things on Marketplace, and we were able to get rid of it. And then we had a garage sale with whatever was left. But my daughter was able to take my dining set, all my outdoor furniture, she gave to them. She moved in with her fiance, and we furnished their whole house for them. How wonderful!
Sounds good. So did you have you found a spot? Have you found a site for them to get married yet?
Robin, it was torture, but we finally got her to say the Park Savoy out in New Jersey.
Okay.
There's it's like 3 sister venues. So they only three venues there, but she finally committed. She wanted the fall, but we ended up doing September of 2025. So at least we have.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. So we're able to get settled in the Bluffs, and then she can have it the following year.
Sounds like a plan. So, we've been here. I'm so excited that everybody's here. If you have a glass, if you have a kombucha, if you have a whatever it is, this is. And Sandy, where's your glass? You always have a glass.
Me?
Yeah, where's your glass? And where's my Homer? It's never enough.
Let me find Homer.
Yeah, I got it.
Homer, come here. Want to see Robin? Here.
Homer.
This is there for the future, Robin. My husband makes homemade wine.
Ooh.
So this is his wines. Our last name is Hurt, which you can see on the screen. So it's called Hurt So Good. Wine.
Oh, I love it.
And it takes
Here's Homer.
So we will be happy to
Oh,
I mean,
wonderful.
over when we
The,
bring it
the
in.
next party we have, you're gonna be catering the wine. Homer,
Oh,
Homer,
around the ability to.
very cool. That's very cool. Homer, where are you?
Hold on.
There's
There
my
he is.
boy. There's my boy. Go get me a toy. Where's your toy? Go
Oh,
get it.
that snake that you gave him, I have to hide it in the pantry because he drives me crazy sometimes. He wants to always play with it.
Well, okay,
So he
so,
only gets it when he's really bored.
okay, but he hasn't ripped it apart yet, has he?
Oh, yes.
Oh, he has?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Oh,
look
yes.
at that, another face. Oh.
Hey, Sandy. Sandy, has the duck been thrown away yet?
Oh, the ducks.
The duck,
Oh,
is it gone yet?
Homer, oh, the pond ducks.
No, his stuffed duck, Homer's duck.
Oh no, he still has 3 of them, and they're they're partial ducks.
They're sufficiently defeathered.
They're partial ducks. I'll be buying another one soon on Amazon. He gets a duck instead of treats.
So for Christmas, Homer got a toy because, you know, why not? And I found the large, because he pulls everything
It's a
apart.
6-foot snake.
It's a 6 foot, it's a 6 foot, and every piece of it squeaks.
Oh.
And the bone I brought him, all he did was cry because he wanted to go outside and bury it. And he just stood at the door and cried.
Yeah, that's right.
And the men let him out. And the men let him out to bury it. So you can tell we're a very dog-friendly group here as well. Alice, I saw your puppy came in to visit too.
He did. He came in and got his toy. He likes to gnaw on the ball. He just sucks on it when he's getting ready to go to sleep.
Oh,
how old is he?
He will be 3 in a couple weeks, and then we have an almost 8-year-old as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is all good stuff. Nadine, how do you think Puppy's gonna handle the new house?
I think I think it'll be fine once we get there. We're actually going to drop him off at our daughter's house in Virginia Beach on our second visit down, just so that he's not in the mix of
Yeah, him
it's too much.
being in the middle of the move is gonna be a lot. Yeah, we're also doing a double move. So her mom is moving down at the same time, not to live with us, but to the area. So we have one move that's 2 pickups and 2 drop-offs.
Right. My 90-year-old mom is moving to a senior facility in Wilmington, and we're doing this together. So the movers are picking up her stuff and then picking up our stuff, and then we're all driving down. And so Randy's kind of going to be here handling this pickup, and I'm going to go to her place and be there with her while they pick up their stuff. And having Dexter in the mix, it was just too much. So we're going to drop him off for like 2.5 weeks at our daughter's place in Virginia Beach. And then she'll bring him down, or we'll pick him up, and he'll just be there. Like nothing ever changed, you know?
Yeah, he'll just show up in a new place and it'll be
no trauma.
ready.
Hopefully by that time you'll have a little bit more mobility.
Yeah, it's getting better. It's been very frustrating trying to do things with one hand because it doesn't work. Have you ever tried to dress with one hand or do anything with just one hand? It's a lot harder than it seems.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
Yes,
she's starting to feel better and pushed it and
right.
sort
And then
of-
it
Yeah,
got
try overdoing it. Yes,
Yeah.
our Nadine went for a pickleball shot and down, and yes. Are the stitches out though? The stitches are out?
Stitches are out,
Stitches
yeah.
are out of her
Yeah,
forehead.
that looks much better.
Every time she forgets something, she blames the concussion.
See, it's
yeah.
it's all good. But we're so excited for all those of you in January. We're very excited that you'll be spending Valentine's Day, your first Valentine's Day in your new beautiful homes. And we're all gonna come and knock, and don't worry, we
Very
won't
good.
forget about you. Please come back and and let us know. But let's raise a glass to 2024. It should be happy and healthy, and we have plenty of places to visit, and we're excited. We'll are just for those of you who are new. And Jeff, what do you have? You have a fancy one there.
It's my water bottle, Robin.
It's okay. It's all good. But we're so glad, and we're so glad for those of you who are here that have been with us from the very beginning, and so excited to hear about your experiences. And we're looking forward to those of you who are just starting, and to just please stay in touch. And we'll probably have a meeting, I'm going to say towards the end of January. I was approached by somebody who does, what's the terminology for it, Michael, that does all the smart home.
Well, he's like a electronics installer or a home automation installer. He does
And he lives
automation
in
of
the
lighting,
Bluffs.
sound, music, video.
Probably Peter Marcoloni.
People, yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So he's approached me. So one of the things that we like to do is when we seem to be bringing in some people that are, we've had movers, we've had interior decorators, we have blinds people, we've had insurance people. So if you're interested in seeing any of those recordings, just text me or just message me and let me know, and I'll be more than happy to send you some of those meetings, because we record all of them and I have all of them. So if you have any, or if there's something particular that you're looking for or that you're interested in hearing about, that you would like somebody to come and make a presentation, let me know. I have wonderful people, wonderful resources for those who, we have a lot of things, and a lot of the meetings that we've had have come out of conversations about things that people have been looking for. So, it's all good. Has anybody else had the builder? I know Rocco and they're having Jeff come in to do their inspection. We had somebody come a couple of months ago that does the home inspections, with the independent home inspections. Has anybody else contracted them?
Yes, John and I did.
You did already?
Yes.
Wow.
I think a lot of
But
people.
we're gonna do all three, because we're like, all right, let's just be on the safe side. And so we talked to him, and yeah.
He's
So
very
I'm excited.
thorough. He's
Yeah.
very thorough. Yes, he's very good.
Yeah, we talked to Brian about it when we were there.
Which is terrific. That seemed to be a big one, the insurance person. So anybody that, that's new to our group, and if you're interested, it's always good to read, to hear about these things when you're not in a crunch for it, right? So this way it kind of gives you an idea to think about certain things. And if there's anything that anybody specifically wants to know about, I know that one of the big questions I keep getting is about internet. People keep putting on there about the internet. And people have said to me in the past, well, what internet service does Bob have? Bob, I will tell you, your internet's been spot on tonight. So I don't know what's going on.
It's Spectrum tonight.
It's Spectrum tonight. Tomorrow
Yeah.
it could be different.
Well, the T-Mobile over the phone system didn't work as good. Understand a number of other people like the Warners have gotten that recently, and it's working well for them. So there's a lot of options.
Somebody had approached me and said, Robin, you know how to get things done. We need a tower from Verizon. So I'm like, okay. So my next call was going to be to John Horan and say, okay, so you poor John, it's on my list. It was on my list of things was to call John. I was kind of hoping that you were going to come in. So now that I know that you'll be there at the end of January, I'll come knocking. And John's going to be the hero of the Bluffs, and he's going to come up with he doesn't know it yet, but he's going to figure out a way to talk to somebody at Verizon to get us a tower so that all of our cell phones will work, so that we can get our directional signals, in the Bluffs.
I do think it varies. It varies on what street you live on. Like we live on Bay Colony, and Verizon, nobody can get a signal at our house. I mean, luckily we had T-Mobile, so it didn't matter to us, but all our guests that have Verizon, they sometimes have to walk out almost to the street and they might get one bar.
Really?
So, yeah, it's just, I think it's different on different streets around here sometimes. Do you agree, Bob? Bob, don't you think it's kind of the same way on different streets? It's a little bit better than others?
Yeah, it does. It all changes. I think right now the strongest phone service here is T-Mobile because they have a tower right in the adjacent property.
Yeah.
And they have some pretty good deals. There's a number of people switching over to them.
Right. And we have Spectrum, and we haven't had any trouble.
Yeah.
Spectrum,
So yes, I mean, this is one of those things that, you know, we all have the things that we're concerned about, you know, whether it's my computer, for some of us who work from home, you know, must be able to have that computer connectivity. So it'll be learning. I've never lived more than 40 miles from New York City. So this is going to be an interesting, but looking forward to it, and, you know, setting a lot of things free so that I can get back down there. And hopefully next year, many of us will be raising a glass together in my house. So you know, we'll have another progressive dinner. I've been using everybody else's houses up until now. So turnabout's fair play, and looking forward to celebrating with all of you after the POA or before the POA next year. So I raise my glass to you for making this such a wonderful experience for me, and hopefully for all of you. And I wish you a happy and a healthy and a productive 2023 to 2024. Stay safe, stay healthy. Ruth, please stay healthy. Please stay healthy. I want to get a chance to actually see you when I'm down there.
Yeah.
And if anybody who has been building or whatever, and you're interested, if you need more pictures or you need anything else, please get a hold of Ruth or Sandy. And Jeff is going to be on that committee when he gets back down there. And you know, and we'll be more than happy to try to get everybody pictures of what's going on. And I highly recommend Una as well. She's got a beautiful eye. That's my favorite picture. And until she comes up with another one, that'll be my background. So good night, everybody. Have a great time. Stay safe. Enjoy to your four-legged children, to your two-legged children.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
The glass is empty.
Oh no, fill it back up again. Fill it back up again. Have a great night, everybody. Sandy, thank you.
You're welcome.
What are you guys doing on New Year's Eve?
This is funny because they're having something at the clubhouse.
Yeah.
And you know, you can only have so many people in that clubhouse. There's so many people coming. So Michael will be very upset that he's not going to be there because I'm making those ham and cheese sandwiches. So I have the recipe, and he's off now, but he will be getting them New Year's Day. He doesn't know it yet, but he'll be getting them on New Year's Day. It won't taste as good as yours, of course. So a couple of us had an idea that for Christmas I got. Have you heard of the Solo fire pit?
Yes.
Okay, so I got one for Christmas, and a couple other people already have them. So we're thinking about taking them to the pool area outside the clubhouse, and so we can sit outside because there's not going to be enough people to stay inside that clubhouse for New Year's. You know what I mean? There's probably going to be about 80 people.
Wow.
Everybody keeps RSVP. You know what it is because nobody wants to, you know, it's just so much easier to stay put in your own neighborhood.
Well, and that's part of it. And there's no place to, people don't want to drive. People
you
don't want.
You don't have to worry about drinking and driving, you know. So yeah.
Do we know anything about Nina's house? Has she moved in yet? Next to Ruth? I meant to ask her.
No, I don't think so. No. No, because I walked by her house today. No. Mm-mm.
Wow. And how about Tim?